Are you a hoarder, a prepper, or are you just stocking up? Are you a hoarder, a prepper, or are you just stocking up? Hello, y'all. I'm Diana Brienne. Well, we are having a beautiful day out here today, and it looks a little bit gloomy, but the weather is just wonderful. I did my 5-mile run today, and it was just wonderful out there. Actually, when I do my 5-mile runs, it's so much nicer when it's a little bit cooler. And so today it's a little bit cooler, but it's so wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well, I got to thinking today about, are you a hoarder? Are you a prepper? Or are you just stocking up? You know, when I grew up, my grandma, she had this food cellar, and they always had a year's worth of supplies and food down in the cellar. And the reason for that is because, well, she lived through the Great Depression. And so if people didn't stock up, they could go hungry. So she was not a hoarder. She was kind of a prepper in a way and stocking up. Well, you know, I like to stock up, on non-perishables. I really do. And I don't go to any kind of extreme, but I like to stock up. I think it's good to stock up a little bit. I totally admire people who are what they call preppers, in the sense that they stock up on non-perishable items, like rice and beans and, canned goods and things like that. I think it's smart. I personally think it's smart. And this generation and previous recent generations have no idea what it's like to go without food, or to go without luxuries, even, for that matter. And yet, my grandma's generation knew what it was like. My grandma, she never threw away anything. She never threw away a crust of bread. She would find a way to use it. And they never cooked anything new until the old was used up, so to speak. And so grandma had her food cellar, and people of her generation almost all had a food shelter, a food cupboard, where they had a plentiful supply of non-perishable items. And so today people will call people like that hoarders. And I don't believe that's right. I believe that a hoarder is something totally, totally different. All you have to do is go watch those hoarder TV shows to know what a hoarder is. And a hoarder is usually someone, in my opinion, it's not the cleanest mess in the world. But people who prepare or people who stock are very organized. They're very systematic, and they are putting away for another day. Whereas a hoarder doesn't do that. A hoarder comes from insecurity. A person who's preparing, or a person who's stocking up on canned goods or whatever, is simply preparing for, maybe they won't be able to get out of the house, or maybe they'll have a snowstorm or something like that. And so that they're prepared ahead, and it's in an organized, thoughtful fashion. And I think that is absolutely wonderful. Whereas a hoarder is a person that's all disorganized, it's all disarray, and they hold on to stuff not to prepare, but they're holding on to it out of insecurity. So there's a big difference between a hoarder, a prepper, and a stocker. A stocker, food stocker, meaning you stock your food up. Because there's a different kind of stalker too, and we're not talking about that. So a person who prepares ahead of time for a big snowstorm or whatever. Well, from my house to yours, may God bless you, and I hope to talk to y'all soon again. From my wonderful day on Grandma's porch, I'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.